Good day, I'm Elton Robinson with your January 15th grain and oilseed update. Let's start with news from USDA's report earlier this week that U.S. farmers have planted the lowest wheat acres in 6 years. One class, hard red winter wheat, were the lowest in 30 years. According to Terry Riley, senior commodity analyst for Futures International, if we don't get sharply higher durum and spring wheat seedings this spring, the trade might be looking at an extremely low U.S. all wheat area for 2016. Chicago wheat futures rose nearly 4% on the news. As wheat prepares to exit dormancy at the end of February, grain analyst Brian Hoots says look for the market to become very sensitive to U.S. plains weather issues. There is a strong seasonal tendency for wheat to rally during the first 2 weeks of January before turning lower until wheat breaks dormancy. According to USDA's Tuesday reports on U.S. supply, demand, and production, corn production for 2015-16 is estimated 53 million bushels lower, but remains the third largest crop on record at 13.6 billion bushels. Sorghum production is estimated 3 million bushels higher as an increase in harvested area more than offset a reduction in estimated yields. Corn ending stocks are projected 17 million bushels higher at 1.8 billion bushels, and stocks remain the highest since 2005-2006. Global 2015-16 corn ending stocks are projected at a record large 208.9 million tons. However, more than half of those stocks are held in China. The U.S. rice crop is 1.6 million hundredweight higher than last month at 192.3 million hundredweight. The all rice yield increased 47 pounds per acre to 7,470 hundredweight, and harvested area increased 5,000 acres to 2.58 million acres. Ending stocks are projected at 41.9 million hundredweight, up 3.1 million hundredweight from last month, but down 6.6 million from the previous year. Ending stocks were raised 1.3 million tons to 89.7 million, but there are still 14.2 million tons below last year and the tightest stocks since 2007-2008. Soybean production is estimated at 3.93 billion bushels, down 51 million on lower harvested area and yields. Yield is estimated at 48 bushels per acre, down 0.3 bushels, but still a record. Wheat, corn, and sorghum shined in the latest weekly export report. The summary is based on reports from exporters for the period January 1st through January 7th. Wheat exports of 552,000 metric tons were up noticeably from the previous week and 74% from the prior 4-week average, with the Philippines taking over half. Corn exports of 638,000 metric tons were up 78% from the previous week and 14% from the prior 4-week average, with Japan, Mexico, and Colombia as top customers. Sorghum exports of 271,000 metric tons were up noticeably from the previous week and up 91% from the prior 4-week average, with China taking well over 90%. Rice exports of 42,000 metric tons were up 29% from the previous week, but down 3% from the prior 4-week average. Soybean exports of 1.4 million metric tons were down 26% from the previous week and 14% from the prior 4-week average, with China, the Netherlands, and Japan as primary customers. Soybean meal exports of 240,000 metric tons were up 31% from the previous week, while soybean oil exports were up 62% from the previous week, and that 53,400 metric tons of soybean oil exports was a marketing year high. Beef exports were at 9,200 metric tons, while pork exports were at 15,000 metric tons. Well, that's it for this week's report. I'm Elton Robinson. See you next week.